how to get a good job. If you just go to school, get good grades, graduate from college, you'll be able to get a good job. A good job is stable and secure, and it will pay you well. Welcome in, fam. Much love. Trav here. Fuck that shit. Forget having a good job. You want a good life, and you want your work to fit into your good life. Life is about more than having a good job. It's about having good work. So welcome in, fam. Much love. Trav here. Want to destroy a little myths and some lies and say, hey, first of all, you don't need degrees to succeed. It can actually lead you down the wrong path. People are asking the wrong questions. They're giving you the wrong information. They kind of care about you, but they just don't really understand. They want to protect you from risks of the world, but going the good job route is risky as well, because we don't know what's happening with robots, with automation, with jobs being replaced. And a more important thing is quality of life. Like if a job has good benefits, but it doesn't give you a good life, you don't like who you're working with, you're stuck inside, you're stuck in traffic, you're stuck in cities that you don't like, you're stuck working hours that you don't like, you're spending your time on things that you don't like. Forget the good job. You want to have a good life. So what makes a good life? Something that is worth looking at all the time, because we live. We want to live good, right? It's reasonable to spend a lot of time thinking about that, how to do it better, and how our work fits in. Yeah, we're social people. A good life and good work, a good job. Important thing is having a team. You don't want to work alone, really. It's not very fun. I'll tell you that from experience. I don't even need from experience, because we just know the way that we work. You don't want to be a solopreneur. You also don't want to be in your own cube alone all the time. It's a lot more enjoyable to work in teams. Now, it's a balance. We like to have some solitary creative work, like to write and to cook up strategy and stuff like that. But to bring it back with the team to help execute it, it's way more efficient, way more fulfilling. We're social people. We should like the people that we work with, right? Our job, we should like what we're doing with our time. That's incredibly important. Forget how much you're paid, forget the security, forget the stability. If you don't like what you're doing, why do it, right? You should enjoy, you don't have to enjoy all of it, because there's always going to be some dirty work that you don't necessarily love, but you should enjoy the bulk of your time while you're here on Earth, because that's really all that we have. So it doesn't mean you need to be partying or chilling or kicking it, but doing something that you find fulfilling, something that you think is important, something that challenges you a little bit physically and mentally. It could be a lot of different things. Me, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, working with the team, working outside, working some strategy, working with the land, getting some ownership, having a mission I believe in, and doing something healthy. That's important. Key to a good life is being relatively healthy, right? And your job should contribute to that. It should make it easier, not harder, right? How many jobs make it harder to be healthy? Because you're spending all your time stuck indoors, stuck sitting, you're looking outside, it's beautiful out, and you're just sitting at your desk. Or, oh, cool, you have a standing desk. But then you get out of work, you have 1 hour that you're trying to get it in the gym, if you get it in or you don't get it in. That's not contributing to a good life, because you don't need to be ripped with a six-pack to be happy. But it helps if your biology is correct, so that you don't have chemicals and negative hormones firing off that's going to make you all stressed out and feel sick all the time, and make you sick and make you feel sick and make you die sooner, right? So it helps if your job, if your work contributes to being healthy. It doesn't need to be super physical, but I mean, one example is if you're a server in a restaurant. Actually, that contributes to being healthy, because you get to walk around a lot during your work, and the hours generally, if you have evening shifts, let you be outside during the day and go kick the soccer ball around or whatever you want. So you don't have to be a farmer like me. There's lots of options, but you have to think about how your work is going to contribute to a good life. You want to have a good life. What else makes a good life? We got health, we got social. Okay, so you should be paid somewhat well. That's a nice thing. Money, though, should definitely not be the first concern. It should also not be, stability should not be, forget stability just because you may want to switch it up, and also because you may be forced to switch it up for forces outside of your control. unpredictable changes in the market and so on. Yeah, you should get paid reasonably well, but you don't need to make that much to be happy. You know, once your food for you / your family and your housing is done, you don't need that much left over. You want a little bit of money to play with, but it diminishes as it increases. So it's reasonable to prioritize money, but it's kind of unreasonable to prioritize it extremely high. You don't need millions and billions to be happy, right? And also, something that people get wrong is play it safe, get some safe, good job that's definitely going to pay you like, 60 grand, whatever, maybe. Well, the people who are making a good amount of money, more than they possibly need, aren't necessarily prioritizing it. They're doing random things that they happen to be good at. Like for a lot of people, making social media and YouTube, or playing sports, or playing music. There's a lot of people making a lot of money doing things that you're told won't make you money, right? For me to get to travel around, travel the world in my 20s, go to Europe 4 times, and South America or Central America, travel all around the U.S., go to Japan, go to Hawaii. For playing a card game, people would say, "Hey, that's not safe. That's not a good job. It's not going to pay you well." Well, I find it to not be the best job because it was missing it was reasonably conducive to health, actually, because I could pick my hours and work outside. I got to work with teams, which was fun. The main thing that was missing was the fulfilling part. I didn't feel that it was super important, so I switched off of that. But that's just an example of how you shouldn't prioritize money necessarily, because if you're good at what you do and you like it you're able to make a difference, you can make good money and have a better life. It's just rather than being stuck doing something you don't like because you think you can't make money otherwise. You can. It will come to you. If you're passionate, you make a difference, you're helpful. So that's a new way to look at things. Like, forget I want a good job that's safe. Like, get a good life and have fulfilling work that fits into it, that lets you meet interesting people and work with teams, and is conducive to health and pays you reasonably well, challenges you, and gives you skills and stuff like that. Like, forget a lot of the stuff that you've been told by career counselors who maybe they love their job, maybe they don't, but your parents, they care about you, but they don't want to see you fail. People are risk averse when they give advice, so I'm going to say take on a little bit of risk. And I think it's actually too risky to not take enough risks. Like, you're guaranteed a mediocre life if you go for mediocre jobs, because your work is going to define a lot of how you feel about yourself, a lot of how you feel about your time and what you're doing here on Earth. So you'll feel a lot better if your good work works in with your good life. So hope you find that useful. This is some stuff that actually I was lucky to learn reasonably early, but I wish someone had told me, like, yo, do something that you think is also really important to humanity, because that took me a little bit longer to figure out. And I probably would have gotten into agriculture 6 to 10 years sooner if I had known. So let me know what you think. Those of you who want some more advice in book form, you should check out my book on I Wish I Had Told Me Sooner, life lessons, a bunch of stuff that I wish I had learned earlier, things I would tell to a younger me, stuff like this on health, on love, on happiness, on making money. So I appreciate you, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments. Take care, fam.